Hello YouTube, today we are going to look at Microsoft's newest operating system, Windows 10. And to be very clear, it's a technical preview, so understand that whatever they change in the newer versions, I will do an updated video for, but this is the first preview of it to the general public. So looking at this new version, it is interesting to note that Microsoft decided to jump from Windows 8 to Windows 10 and not do Windows 9. They found it a radical change, and it would work on devices ranging from phones to tablets to desktop PCs, while running the same version of Windows, but doing different things for each device, which is really something that people were talking about in the first place, that Windows 8 should have been. This was a topic between me and other people that we've talked about. So Microsoft actually is claiming that this version is the most community-supported release ever. And they are actually right about this because they listen to everybody's complaints. And what's nice about this is, first of all, with Windows 8.1, they got me into the desktop, and they added a start button. And that was really nice. But with Windows 10, they added a start button that brings me to a start menu, which many people around Windows were complaining about. So what's really nice about this start menu is that, as you can see, I have a combination of the start screen and the start menu on one. So there were advantages to the start screen, and one of them was to have some nice relevant content and information. So as you can see, I have the newest news on my screen here, and I can, if I wanted to, enable weather and be able to see my weather information while it was here. And it's the same as the start screen, where I can move things around, so you don't have to worry much about the change or anything. And if I want to bring something to the right, I can keep adding stuff and also make it smaller if I want, or medium. Any type of way you want to organize this is up to you. One thing I found nice is it's a nicer way of having your recent programs, or not your recent programs, but having the programs that you use the most be on here, which is really nice. So not even Metro apps. I can add something like, what I really like to use a lot is the event viewer. So I can pin that to the start menu and have it right there when I start up. So it's really nice. And again, you can resize these to however you like and be able to have your most used apps over here by you doing it manually. So it's really neat that they've added this. So another thing that they've done was, let's go ahead and launch the Windows Store. So as you can see, the default behavior for a Metro or a modern UI app is to launch in full screen. But with this, I can actually click and drag down and launch it as a window, making Windows Windows. So as you can see, if I drag it to the right, it will make it into a window. And if I open up another application here, such as, let's go ahead and open up the reader, I can drag that over and split it right here. In my opinion, this is much better than Windows 8 because they actually added a really cool way to multitask. So let's have another application. Let's do File Explorer. And again, it launches in full screen. But another thing to note with these, what they call arrow snap, I can snap something to the right like I would, but I can also, depending on the app, launch it like this. And what it will do is it'll make it so that I can run all of these apps simultaneously. It's a smart way of viewing all of the apps that are running. It's a really nice organized way to do it. And a better example for this is launching Windows Explorer 4 times. So I'm going to go ahead and launch Windows Explorer again. So if I move this to the right, it'll give me a suggested list right here on what I want to have to the left of me, or if I don't, I can just actually click away. But let's go ahead and click on that, and let's also go ahead and go to the other home. So I can also have this here, and it gives me another suggestion. Would you like to have this, or this on your bottom? So I'm going to have that there, and I'm going to go ahead and move this to the right as well. And let's go ahead and open up the other Windows Explorer. I can move this and drag this again and I can drag it so that it's split screen. So now I have a completely split screen use of my applications or my Windows Explorer. So it's pretty cool that Microsoft decided to do that. I really give them credit. That's a very nice feature. And basically, Microsoft also added another feature called Search, which to me could have been right here. I don't know why they just didn't include it in the start menu. But they added another feature called Search. So if I was to search for something like Netflix, I can search for the app and it will find it in the App Store. So anything I want to find in the App Store, if I want to do a web search for YouTube, it will allow me to do that as well. So I can do web searches, I can do like the weather, I can do a lot of things to be able to search for my programs, but my point is that why didn't they add this here? Or if I'm searching for Netflix, add it here so that I can install the app. Instead, they added a separate search field, which gives your recent searches and everything. It's just an interesting way to do it. I would have done it differently. But it is a nice little feature that they have added. Understand that you can do more searching than you could on the start menu. So again, that's something they've added as another new feature, if you will. One of the biggest and most helpful things that they've added for power users, and this is actually the last bit I'm going to cover for this quick overlook, is the task view. So the task view is really cool. I'm going to go ahead and open up some apps here again. Let's make this all jumbled up here. Let's go ahead and open up WordPad as well. Okay. And I hope that this won't freeze on me because it has been a little bit crazy lately. Again, this is a developer's preview, I might want to note, and some things aren't perfect in it, especially when I'm running it on top of another computer. So here's WordPad. I have two WordPads open in this case. I'm starting to open up a lot of screens. And what's really cool about this new task view is if I click on task view, it's going to show me all of the programs that I have open. And here's another thing that they've added, which is very important for the people who use computers a lot. It's called virtual desktops. Say I was working at work and I only wanted things from work to be on this desktop. Well, I can go ahead and take, say, my WordPad document and click on this desktop here and be able to launch WordPad here, and it will open. And notice that all the other things that I have open are in the other desktop. So if I go to WordPad here, this is open in one desktop, and then the other is open in this desktop. So it's really cool because I can separate all of my desktops from each other, but how do you know which one's which? And that's the thing that they didn't really do well, in my opinion. They didn't show that you don't know which desktop is which. However, as you can see here, I do have different Internet Explorers open in different desktops. So this is really helpful if you really want to deal with, let's say, have one area dedicated to Photoshop, the other dedicated to gaming, and then the other dedicated to, say, Word. It's really nice. You got to get used to it, but it's a really cool thing that they have for power users, and I'm really excited about this. However, I do have a couple of notes to say about this. So, again, it's a virtual desktop. However, there's some things that it should do that it doesn't. For example, I would like to be able to change the wallpaper. I can't change the wallpaper on each virtual desktop. I can't have different icons on the desktops. And I also can't name the desktops, which is really kind of essential. And I can't tell which apps are open in which desktops. Now, there is a little bar under here, which will tell you that it's open in another desktop. But if you have multiple ones, it doesn't show you which one is which and which one's on which desktop, making it kind of a cluster mess. So, again, this would have been a nice features to have. I'm actually going to submit my ideas to Microsoft and see if we have any changes. I mean, they have really listened to the community well on this operating system. It's way, way more polished than Windows 8 could ever be, and it's a much nicer addition, and they also have a real power button, another complaint that I was having. So they really have taken care of a lot of the users' complaints and tried to give such a different change to the outlook of Windows. They've switched the version number. So again, this is a more polished version of Windows. It really is nice coming from a first quick glance. I know this was a little bit of a long video, but I appreciate you guys watching my videos. Thank you for commenting, liking, and subscribing. I will definitely be posting more videos coming up on Windows 10 and tech, so stay tuned for that. And thanks again for watching this video.